Hi everyone, welcome to Pilates today. This morning we're going to really focus on activating and challenging those abdominal muscles. So we're going to start with those deepest muscles, the transverse abdominals, the ones really close to the spine. Often they're referred to as your core abdominals or that core stability, and then we're going to work into those obliques and then your rectus abdominals, so those six-pack muscles. So let's get started. So we're going to lie down onto your mat, on the floor, whatever you've got handy. And I'm going to firstly just begin with a little bit of breathing, activating those deeper transverse abdominals, so those really deep core muscles. Okay, so if you just place your hands onto your lower tummy, and you want to make sure that your pelvis is nice and or fairly straight and relaxed, so a nice heavy tailbone, and we want to have the pubic bone and the hip bones pretty much in line with each other, so they're sort of on the same plane. Yeah, so we're not arching the back too much, or dropping the pubic bone down, or tucking forward too much and having the pubic bone slightly lifted. We're going to be in that more neutral position of the pelvis. Okay, so we're going to breathe into your fingers. And then as we exhale, we're going to sink the tummy and just feel those abdominals pull in, a little bit like drawing up a tight pair of jeans. And then we go again, breathing in and out. Let's have one more breath. Letting the fingers fill and the tummy fill with air. And then we exhale and sink that belly button down, holding the spine nice and steady. Now we're going to float one leg in. So as you inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up. We're going to float it in over the top of the hip. And then when we exhale, we'll place the leg down. We'll go the other side. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, place the leg down. Then we go for a couple more like this. And we're really thinking about keeping those hips nice and steady. So quite simple, not too much work just now, but really just trying to get those deep muscles really activated before we go into a little more difficult work. Yeah, so we've got that nice strong core, that center working before we begin to work into those six-pack muscles. That's it. So we're breathing out to lower. Let's add an extension now. We're going to inhale. As you exhale, we'll stretch the leg away. So really pulling that tummy down, don't get the back arch, yeah? Get those hips nice and steady. Then we inhale, come in, and we exhale, place the foot down. Other side, inhale to lift up. Exhale, stretch the leg long. Inhale, bring the knee back in. Exhale, place the foot back onto the floor. Let's go for 4 more. Lifting the leg up, stretch the leg away. Feel like you're really pulling the tummy up and away from that leg as you stretch it long. So really engaging those deep abdominal muscles. We're sinking that belly button down. A little bit of a scoop, maybe a little bit of a hollow through the pelvis there and the lower tummy. Good. Let's go for 1 more on each side. Inhale. Exhale, stretch the leg long. Inhale, bring the knee back in. Exhale, place the foot down. And the other side, another inhale. Exhale. Good, and we bring that leg back in, and we place the foot back onto the floor. Okay, we're going to bring the arms down by the sides. We're going to go for some pelvic rolls. So we'll inhale to prepare. As you exhale, we're going to draw the lower tummy in. We're really thinking about that scooping and hollowing belly. Now we are going to roll up to the back, so we can just gently move through the spine as we lift. From here we inhale, and then we exhale, and we slowly roll back down. So this is a moment when we can let the lower back really sink into the ground, onto the mat, reach the tailbone long, and then you can come back to that neutral position. So we inhale, and then we exhale, we draw the lower tummy, we do tuck forward slightly. That's it, we peel the spine off the floor, the knees reach forward. Inhale at the top, and then we exhale and roll back down again. Okay, so getting a little bit of mobility through the back. Continuing to focus on those deeper muscles to control the movement as we go up and down. Inhale, exhale, return. Now you shouldn't feel any work into the back. If you do feel like your back is beginning to engage, don't go up quite as far, but just stop a little earlier. So we're not pushing all the way up and arching the back. We're keeping the ribs soft, and we're working into the tummy. You might feel your glutes work and your hamstrings work a little here too, and that's fine. Let's go for 1 more like this. Breathing out, curling up again. Inhale at the top, and we exhale and we roll back. This time when we come up, we're going to lift the legs one at a time. So we're going to go for we transfer. So when we come up and do that, we want to really keep that tummy working. The hips stay on the same plane here. We breathe in, we float the right leg up. We keep everything very steady. The tummy's working hard. You're going to feel that supporting glute work a little more as well. Then we place the foot back down. We change sides. We inhale, we lift the leg. We exhale, we place the foot back onto the floor. Take another breath in, and then you exhale and roll back through the spine until we relax. We go again. Inhale, exhale, curl up. Lots of lower tummy pulling in. Feel like those hip bones are coming in towards each other. That's another way of looking at it, or perhaps even thinking about pelvic floor. So for a little lift from the base of the spine too. So, and then we roll back again. Let's go for 2 more like that. Breathing out, curling up. Knees reaching forward. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, place the foot down. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, place the foot back onto the floor. Another breath in, and we breathe out to slowly return. Still trying to get that movement through the back. So really going a little slower perhaps in any tighter areas today. That's it, we stop here. We breathe in, right leg lifts. We exhale, we place the foot down, and then the lift, breathing in and out. Good, and then we slowly roll back down through the spine. We're going to bring the arms up into a nice wide stop sign position, so the elbows are out just slightly lower than the shoulders, or same height as the shoulders, but not further up above them. And the hands are just up towards the ears. We're going to lift the legs up off the floor. We're going to go for some side to side. So the knees are just over the hips, and we're in a 90-90 position here. We're going to breathe in. We're going to let the legs roll over towards the right. We'll look towards the left, and as you breathe out, we're going to pull in through the lower tummy, bring the legs back to the middle. Then we go the other way. We inhale, and we exhale. We pull that belly button in towards the spine. We're going to feel those obliques work at the side as you wrap around through the waist, bringing the legs back to the center. So really focusing on those waist muscles and those lower abdominal muscles to really initiate the pull back of the legs. So we inhale to go over, and as we exhale and sink the tummy down, the legs will act like a weight on those waist muscles. Let's go for 3 more. Inhale, exhale, draw the legs back to the middle. Another breath in, good, and out. And 1 more breath in. And exhale, pull that tummy in and come back to the middle. We're going to hold the legs here now. We're going to take the arms out towards the ceiling. We're going to go for some back legs. So we're going to stretch the opposite arm and leg away. So we're going to take the right leg down and away from you, and the left arm is going to go above the head. We're also going to bring that right arm down towards the leg, towards that right leg. We inhale, we come back in. We change. We're going to breathe out, reach long through the opposite arm and leg. The same arm comes down. We inhale, we come back. Now, as we go, we have to work even harder into those deep abdominals to stop the back from arching. So the spine should stay in that same position on the floor or on the mat. Yeah, so it's not arching, it's not engaging, but it's just staying exactly where it is, and that lower tummy is working super hard just to hold the spine steady. So a real feeling of sinking those abdominal muscles down as we stretch away. So we breathe out. That helps us sink the tummy a little more. We inhale, we come back in. We go again. We breathe out, stretch long. Inhale to come back. That's it. So the lower we take the leg, the harder it's going to be. So if you feel like this is a challenge, take the leg up a little higher, or perhaps don't straighten it quite as much. Good, let's go for 2 more. Inhale to come in. Exhale, stretch away. Now, if you feel like that is enough of a challenge, keep doing what you're doing. Otherwise, both arms and legs can stretch away. So working even more into those lower ribs. Exhale, reach long. Don't let the ribs come off the mat. Just keep them exactly where they are. That's it. We'll move away from the mat. We're going to keep that lower back long and relaxed, maintaining neutral position with that natural position of the spine as we move the legs and arms out and away from us. That's it. Let's go for another 5. Or just keep doing this singles if you're feeling that's enough. And 4, 3, good work. That's it. We're almost there. 2. And last one, breathing out, reaching long. Good, and then we inhale and come back in. And place those feet back onto the floor now. I'm going to place your hands behind your head. The elbows will be slightly forward. So we're going to use the hands and the arms to really support the head as we lift up. So we're going to come up into a chest lift. Yeah, we're going to keep that head heavy in the hands. We'll inhale. As we exhale, we'll lift the head and shoulders out. Now just pause for a moment. Is your head relaxed in your hands? The heavier the head can be, the more those upper abdominals are going to work. Yeah, and we want to keep them firing. But we also want the lower tummy to be active too. So if you glance down towards your hips, they should be in that same position. It's really easy to let the hips tap forward when we come up, but we want to keep the pelvis really still, yeah? So that's where those deep abdominals need to engage. So we inhale, we come back. We exhale, we lift again. That's it. Those hips nice and steady. The tailbone down on the floor. The ribs sinking towards the mat too. We inhale, we come back. So the lower back may soften a little towards the floor as we lift up, but we're not tucking, okay? We want to make sure we don't tuck the hips. We want to keep them nice and still. Breathing out, lifting up. Is that head still heavy in the hands? Can you feel that upper abdominal area begin to work? Think about your arms lifting a weight off the floor, yeah? That really encourages those upper abdominals to work if we can keep that head heavy. Let's go for 2 more. Breathing out. Inhale, come back down. Feel like you're lengthening that neck away or that head away as you come up. So nice big C curve as you lift, yeah? And then we inhale to return. Good, we're going to add some legs in now. Breathing out, lifting up. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, place the leg down. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, replace. Good, and then we lower the head and shoulders. Let's go again. Breathing out to lift up. Inhale, right leg. Watch those hips. We're moving the legs just to challenge that pelvic stability. So watching the hips don't shift from side to side as we go or as we transfer the legs one at a time, yeah? So breathe out to start. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower the leg. And then we breathe in to return. Then let's keep going. Hopefully those hips are staying nice and steady. Then we'll lift through pelvic floor too. As you lift those legs up. We're going to add in some double legs now. So we exhale to lift again. Same thing, we go with it, singles to begin with. Hopefully those upper abs are beginning to work now. That's it, then we lift both legs together. So really sink that tummy down. We deepen those abdominals. We place the legs back onto the floor and we lower the head and shoulders. Let's go again. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, right leg floats up. Exhale, place the leg down. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, place the leg down. Breathing in, both legs float off the floor. Don't let those hips shift. Exhale, sink that tummy, place the feet down, and then we lower the head and shoulders back. Let's go for 3 more sets. That's it, breathing out, lifting, head heavy in the hands. Remember, it's the weight on those upper abdominals. Yeah, we're not working through the neck. We're working to the tummy to support the head as well as the arms. That's it, sink those tummy muscles down, and we rest. Let's go for 2 more, breathing out. Inhale, right leg comes in. Exhale, place it back. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Exhale, place it down. Sink our doubles, lifting both legs together. We sink the tummy and we lower the head and shoulders. That's it, last set. Breathing out. That's it, right leg lifts up. Exhale, sink down. Good, and the left. And both legs lift, really pull that tummy in. Good, and we lower the legs down and head and shoulders return. Good, well done. Let's turn over onto our sides now. We're going to work a little more into those obliques, but we're still going to keep that core working. So we're going to keep those lower abdominals really switched on as we go, just so we can keep that stability. So we're going to lie with your legs slightly forward of the body. That's it, and your top hand can just rest in front of you for now. We're going to pull the tummy in and lift the legs off the floor, hopefully activating those waist muscles too. So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're going to lift the legs up, reach them away. So think about being really long through those legs. Then we're going to lower the legs down. 2 more like this. Breathing out, lower tummy pulls in, legs float off the floor. Make it easy. It doesn't have to be a high lift. Yeah, just keep it nice and soft. Make sure the upper body's not working. We're just keeping relaxed there. Good, and then we go again. We breathe out to lift. Now we're going to separate the legs. We're going to turn the top leg outwards. We're going to turn it back in. The legs come together and we lower. So we exhale, we lift up. We inhale, we rotate that top leg. We exhale, we bring it back. And we breathe in to lower down. So by rotating that top leg, we're just challenging those hips or those that pelvic stability again. Yeah, so we're trying not to let the body shift as we turn that leg out. Yeah, we're keeping really still through the core, or nice and still through the pelvis as we rotate the leg. So it has to be quite free in the hip joint, yeah? You don't want to grip, you want to make it easy. Let's go for 6 more, breathing out. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, turn it in, and breathe into lower. And 5, that's it, turning the leg outwards. That glute might work a little bit at the back. It doesn't have to be a strong, a really forceful engagement. We're just in a little movement there, just to challenge that pelvic stability. Good. Let's go for 3. You want to really make sure that you're balanced. You can always place that top arm along your legs. That's it. Can you stay nice and steady without wobbling around? And 2. And the last one. Good. And we're going to lower the legs down. Okay, we're going to go for a bit more of a challenge on the side there. So we're going to place your hands behind your head. So you're going to have to work a lot more into the tummy to hold you here. You haven't got that extra hand for support. Yeah, so we're going to pull the tummy and we're going to lift the legs off the floor. Now very slowly we're going to scissor the legs. Just a very small movement. That's it. You have to really keep the focus on those deep abdominal muscles. Yet try not to let the body shift as we move the legs forwards and backwards. That's it. We're going to go for 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Oh, I nearly lost it. That's it. Legs together and lower down. We're going to keep that core really working, don't we, to keep that stability. Let's turn over and we'll do the other side. Okay, so we're lying down. That's it. So your head's resting onto your arm. That top hand's just in front of you, and the legs are just slightly forward of the hips. Just make sure that waist is nice and long and that we lift a little through the bottom side too. Okay, so I'm going to breathe out. We're going to lift the legs along, and then we inhale and lower. So we're still feeling that connection in the front of the pelvis. So really pulling those hip bones towards each other, or perhaps thinking about pulling in just above the pubic bone. A little lift through pelvic floor too. That's it. So we're keeping that lower tummy focus. Now we're lifting the legs. We're going to turn that top leg outwards. We turn it back in. The legs come together, and we lower down. We exhale, we lift. We inhale, we rotate. We turn the leg back in. The feet come together, and we lower. That's it. So we're beginning to work a little more into those waist muscles now. That's it. Hopefully you're beginning to feel them engage as I have to hold the legs up there a little bit longer with that rotation. We're still challenging that core. That's it. We're watching we don't wobble as we turn the leg in and out. Good. That's it. Breathing out to lift. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, turn the leg in, and we breathe into lower. Let's go for 6. Good, that's it. As the repetitions build, hopefully that connection to your waist will build too. And 5, 4. If you have your hand just on the inside of your hip bone, you might feel those muscles pull in. A little bit of a hardening underneath the fingertips. 3. And 2. That's it. Why not challenge that stability for the last one? Place your arm along your legs. That's it. And the last one. There we go. Legs together and lower down. Good work. We're going to come up onto the elbow now. That's it. We're going to place both hands behind the head. We're going to keep the tummy engaged, and we're going to lift those legs off the floor. We're going to scissor them. So we breathe in. And yeah, that's it. Really keeping those hips nice and steady. Let the legs move freely within the hip joints there. That's it. We're going to go for another 6. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. That's it. Good, and we come together and lower. Well done. Good work. We're going to sit up. We'll keep your legs facing the same direction. We're going to go for a wee bit of a stretch. So we should stretch out the first side. Yeah, so we'll take your arm up and over. We're leaning towards your legs. That's it. So the fingers and the feet are going in the same direction. I'm going to feel that nice stretch into the side of the waist. So really feel like you're lengthening the rib cage away from the hip. We breathe in. Breathe wide into the ribs. As you exhale, go a little further into the stretch. And again, another inhale. And as you exhale, you can curl forward this time, feeling that stretch move slightly towards the back. Yeah, so working down from one to the side of the back there. Another inhale and exhale. Good, and then we'll breathe in and we'll come back up. We'll take your legs the other way this time. We'll stretch out the other side. The legs switch around. We'll take your arm up and over and we'll lean towards those legs. So both hip bones are sinking right down into the floor there. We're nice and even through the hips. And we should be beginning to feel that stretch into the other side of the waist. We inhale and exhale. Another breath in. And as you exhale, I'm going to draw the tummy and we're going to curl forward. Feel that stretch move to the side of the back. Another inhale. And breathing out. And we come back up. And we'll sit nice and tall. Good. We're going to go for some hundreds now. So we're going to go for prep for hundreds and then we're going to move into our 100 exercise. That's it. So we're going to work a bit more into that tummy. Just so let's lay down onto your back. We're going to start with your feet flat on the floor. Your knees are bent and just in parallel. So we're going to bring the arms up above the head to begin with. We'll take a breath in. We're going to bring the arms up. We're going to bring the arms down by your sides. As you exhale, we're going to stretch the legs away. We inhale, we bend the knees, we place the feet onto the floor, and then we inhale to lower down. We go again. We exhale, we lift up. We inhale, we stretch the legs long. We place the feet back onto the floor, and then we lower the head and shoulders. So we're trying to keep the head and shoulders right off the floor. We just come up halfway and just lift the head. We're going to really work into the neck. If you're going to try and lift those shoulder blades off the floor, you're going to feel the work more into your tummy. That's it. And then we lower down. So we breathe out, we lift up. We inhale, we lift the legs. Now if you feel like this is too much, you can't get those hips nice and steady, we still want those lower tummy muscles working there, but we're really struggling to hold that stability. Just bring the legs into a tabletop position and then place the feet back down. Yeah, there's no need or no pressure to stretch the legs all the way. We can just come to here. Yeah, so work with the position that works best for you in your body. You want to challenge those abdominal muscles, but we don't want to overdo it and work into the back. We want to keep the control through the exercise. So we breathe out to lift, we inhale, reach the legs or bend the knees, whatever works best for you. Place the feet down and then we lower. Last one, and we're going to start here this time and we're going to go for hundreds. So we lift the legs up. Now we're going to inhale, beat the hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. So as we inhale, we're trying to lift a little higher away from the floor, and as we exhale, we're sinking that belly button down. That's it. The legs reach long. You can turn the legs out a little too, and squeeze those inside thighs together. That can sometimes help the hip flexors to turn off, and we're going to really keep that tummy working to hold the legs out there in space. Now, if you feel like your neck is getting tired, you can place one hand behind the head. Yeah, or you can just keep the arms down. Let's go to 6 more breath cycles. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 more breath cycles. We've got it. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. See if you can lower those legs a little for the last few. Keep that tummy working. One more breath cycle. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And you can bring the legs in, place them down, and rest the head and shoulders back onto the floor. Good. Well done. We're going to turn over and we're going to come onto your hands and knees. So we're going to have your hands just underneath your shoulders and your knees are just underneath your hips. So we're going to work a little more into the back muscles now. Yeah, so just a nice gentle engagement of those muscles along either side of the spine. So your back extensors. That's it. And then we're going to also think about the tummy working there too. So watching it, we don't let the back move around as we go. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to stretch the opposite arm and leg away. And then we're going to inhale and come back in. Then we go the other side. So we exhale, we stretch long. We try not to let the back arch. We're not letting anything move. We're just keeping very steady as we take the arm and leg in and out. We breathe out. and we inhale to come back in. So that tummy is really supported. We're pulling in. You can imagine that you're bouncing a glass of wine on your back, and we don't want to spill it. That's it. So everything is very steady as we go. We breathe out. We inhale and we come back in. That's it. Let's go for another 4. Nice and soft through the arms and legs. And 3, make sure the hand comes back under the shoulder, the knee comes back under the hip. 2, a little bit of push into the supporting hand so we're strong in the upper body. And last one. Good, and we come back in. This time we're going to open the arm and leg out to the side while we're there. So we're going to just challenge that stability a little more. So we're going to open the arm and leg wide. We're going to come back in, and then we bring the hand and the knee back underneath. We exhale, we reach away. We inhale to open. We exhale, bring it back, and then we close it out. Yeah, so that tummy's still working. We want to keep that spine nice and long. We're not shifting around at all as we go. That's it. With exhale, reach long. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it back. And then we bring the arm and leg in. Let's go for another 3. Good. See how still that spine can be. And 2. And last one. Good, and we come back in. Good job. Okay, we're going to come down onto your elbows now, and we're going to go for some plank. So we're going to come right down. Now, you can either do it on your knees, yeah, or you can lift up onto your tippy toes. So whatever works best for you. If you're on your knees, just make sure that your hips aren't up in the air, but we're coming down so the hips are slightly lower, or at least as low as your shoulders, okay? So you really kind of keep that tummy pulling in to support the back. Okay, I'll just get my stopwatch on. There we go. And we're up. Yeah, so we're going to pull that tummy in whatever position that you've chosen. If you're up on your toes, make sure you're forward. We're not sort of sinking back, but we're keeping forward on the tippy toes, and that really encourages those abdominal muscles to work a little harder. So every time we breathe out, we're pulling that tummy in. We're feeling like those hip bones are pulling in towards each other. We're pushing away from the floor. We're strong in the upper body. We're not collapsing. We're lifting up, yeah? A little bit of upper body work here too, as well as that lower tummy. So breathe out. Pull that tummy in. Push away from the ground. Keep long through the body. Feel like the crown of the head is reaching forward, like you're trying to reach forward, up and away from you, yeah? We're not sort of dropping the head. We're keeping the spine long, or as long as we can. We've only got 15 seconds to go. We breathe in, and we exhale. We pull those ribs in. We pull that tummy in. We lift through pelvic floor. That's it. And we're almost here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can lower those legs down. Well done. We're going to come all the way down onto the floor now. I'm going to take your arms out nice and long. And we're going to go for some flitter. So it's a little bit like our pointer that we just did a moment ago, but we're lying on your tummy. Now, we need to work a little more into those abdominals because we want to keep the hips nice and steady on the floor, and it's a little harder to maintain that stability when both arms and legs are off the floor. Okay, so we're going to engage those deep abdominals. We're going to lift the arms and legs off the floor. Now we're going to lift the opposite arm and leg a little higher, breathing out, and then inhale to lower. So the opposite arm and leg lift up, and we're keeping the hips nice and steady. Now, if you feel like this is too much, you can come back and just lift one arm and leg up. Yeah, but otherwise we're going to keep both arms and legs hovering as we float them off the floor, or as we lift them up and down. Okay, so we exhale to lift, inhale lower, breathing out and in. Shoulders are drawing down towards the hips. Don't let them lift up and work into the neck, yeah? We're going to go for another 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, and you can lower down. Well done. So we're going to sit back onto your heels. That's it, knees are out wide, feet together. And we're going to breathe in nice and wide into the ribs. So you're really going to open wide through the rib cage as you breathe in. And then exhale. Sink the tummy, pull the tummy in, and just let the tailbone drop a little further towards those heels. So really relax through the spine as you go. Feeling that nice stretch and release through the back. One more breath in. And we'll exhale, we're going to roll up through the back. So we're going to come up to kneeling. Good, we're going to go for some glute work now, but we're still focusing on those abdominal muscles. So we're going to have to really use that core strength to hold ourselves nice and steady while we work into our glutes. So we're going to come to the side and we're going to place the left hand on the floor and the left knee on the floor. We're going to engage the left glute to keep the hips forward. It's going to be really easy to sink back because we want to keep up and forward. So really focusing on that glute muscle at the back there, or underneath there. Now the top hand can come onto the hip. I want a nice and long feeling through that waist. We're not sort of sinking or collapsing on that side, but we're keeping nice and open across the side of the waist there. Now the top leg is going to lift. So we're going to breathe out. We're going to work into that right glute and we're going to inhale and lower the leg. So as the leg lifts up, we're going to squeeze that bottom muscle on the top hand side to initiate the lift of the leg. So we exhale to lift, we inhale to lower down. And that's it. Hopefully beginning to feel that glute engage. That's it. And we've also got the bottom glute working too to keep you nice and straight there. The tummy's pulling in so the whole hip doesn't lift up as the leg lifts. You want to keep everything really still across that pelvis. Let's go for another 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2, and last one. We lift and hold. We're going to hold it here. Now we're going to circle that leg, little circles with the leg. Now really watch those hips. Are they shifting or are they staying really still? We want to maintain that core strength, that core stability as we move the leg around. That's it. We're not moving the whole pelvis. We're not moving that top hip. We're just moving the leg within the hip joint, and that glute muscle at the back is working to lift the leg up. That's it. We've got it. We're going to go for 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2, and last one. That's it. And we reverse it. Squeeze that glute, lift the leg. That's it. Keep those hips nice and steady. Don't let those hips begin to shift as you tie. Keep the bottom hip forward. Really keeping that supporting glute active as well. That's it. We're almost there. Let's go for 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. That's it. Now we're going to bend the knee. Last variation. We're going to flex the foot. Take the leg back. Yeah, so where the leg comes in, and then we flex it back, a little bicycle. Feel like you're sticking your bottom out behind you as the leg comes in, just to keep it in that same position so we don't sort of collapse. Yeah, but we keep it long. That's it. And then we push out. That's it. Let's go for 6. Breathing out, reach away. Inhale to come in. And 5. Good. We're almost there. Then we swap sides. And 4, 3, and 2. Last one, team. We've got that. Keep that tummy pulling in. Stretch the leg back. And you can relax. Well done. Good. We're going to turn over and we'll do the other side now. So we'll just come and we'll place the right hand down this time. The right hip is forward. Now, because we've worked that glute already, it's going to feel a little bit tougher to hold that position. So really keep that lower tummy active, yeah? Yeah, so we're lifting up and out of that supporting leg. That glute's firing, the tummy's working. Nice long waist. And a little bit of push into that supporting hand too, so we're not collapsing in the shoulder. I'm going to stay nice and lifted through the body. Okay, let's squeeze that left glute, lift the left leg up. Inhale, lower it down. We go again. We breathe out to lift. We inhale to lower. That's it. Nice and slow and steady. You can place that top hand on your hip if you want to. Sometimes I like it on the hip just to remind me to keep that hip down. We're not sort of hoiking that hip up, but we're keeping it just lengthened through that waist there. That's it. We're going to go for 6. We'll lift through the bottom side of the waist too. And 5, 4, that's it. 3, 2, and last one. Hold it here. Circle the leg, lift and lower. Breathe in. Exhale, squeeze the glute and then drop it down. That's a really strong connection to that left glute there. That's it. Keep the right glute coming forward. That's it. So we're really supporting through the bottom side of the torso, the bottom side of the hips. That's it. For 6 and 5, 4, 3, and 2. Keep that tummy working as well. Last one. We reverse it. We breathe out. We lift the leg and we drop it down. Getting a little tougher now. So always so much harder on that second side. That's it. Keep that tummy working. A little bit of a push away from the floor with that hand. We're almost there. That's it. We're going to go for 6 and 5, 4, 3. You've got it. 2. And last one. That's it. Now we're going to donkey kicks. Bend the knee in. Don't let the hip come forward with it. Keep the hip back. Exhale. Push the leg away. That's it. Tummy's on. That's it. Working super hard. Holding that pelvis really steady. That's it. That supporting glutes working too. Helping to keep that stability through the hips. We're almost there. Inhale, come in. Exhale, reach the leg away. We're going to go for 6 and 5. You've got it. And 4, 3, 2, and last one. That's it. Really finish strong, good, and you can come all the way. Well done. Let's go for a stretch for those glutes. Okay, so we're going to sit. We're going to place the left leg in front of you, and we're going to take the right leg. We're going to place it across the left knee. So you sort of twist it out. So the left leg is in front. You can sort of tuck that in, and then bring the right leg up and across. We're going to sink both hips down into the floor if you can. We're going to pull that right knee in towards you. We're going to rotate around towards that leg. So we're going to pull the knee in, and we're trying to rotate towards it and pull the knee past the shoulder. We take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to pull the knee closer to the chest. Go for a stronger twist. And you should feel that stretch through the glute on the outside of that right leg. Good, another inhale and exhale. One more breath. And out. Good, and we can come all the way around. Let's swap the legs over this time. So we're going to place the right leg in front. We take the left leg across the body. Both hips are sinking down into the mat, and we're going to pull that left leg right in towards the chest. We're lifting up and out of the hips, nice and short through the spine. That's it. So we've still got that nice lift through the core. Always about the core. That's it. We're going to lift up. We're going to rotate around. That's it. Really getting that nice stretch to the upper body, but feeling that really good release and stretch into that glute muscle there. So we inhale and exhale. Go a little further. Pull the knee in. Another inhale and exhale. And you can relax. Good. Okay. We're going to go for some single leg stretch and perhaps some double leg stretch before we finish. So we're going to lie down onto your backs. So we're going to start. We're going to have the legs lifted in the air. We're going to keep that tummy working so the pelvis is nice and steady. We're going to lift the head and shoulders up. I'm going to place both hands onto your right knee. Now as you breathe out, we're going to stretch that left leg long. We inhale, we come in, and we exhale, we stretch the other side. So we're going to work through the lower tummy to hold the hips steady again. And the upper abdominals are still working. That's it, to support the head and shoulders. We've got 3 variations like this. This is our first variation. Okay, so when we've done this, we're going to have a little bit more support for the head with one of the hands. And then we've got a twist. So let's go for 6 and 5, 4, keep the tummy sinking, 3 and 2, and the last one. That's it. Now place the right hand behind the head, stretch the left arm and the left leg. We inhale, we exhale, we stretch the right arm and the right leg away, changing and breathing out as we stretch. Inhale, exhale. That's it. So really feeling that tummy sink down. Can you see your belly button sink towards your spine as you stretch out? Are those hips nice and steady? Yet no movement through the pelvis as we swap the legs over. We've got another 5 and 4, 3. Then we're going to go into our twist. 2. If you need a wee rest, feel welcome to, feel free to have a wee break and then join back in. And the last one. That's it. Both hands behind the head now. Take the right shoulder towards the left knee. Inhale, come in. Exhale, up and over. Now, as we twist, we'll watch the hip that we're turning away from does not lift off the floor. So if we're going right, the left hip sinks into the floor or into the mat. And if we're going left, the right hip sinks down. That's it. We've got it up and across. Shoulder towards the knee, not the elbow. Look at the shoulder lifting up and over. We've got 6 and 5, 4, 3, and 2. The last one, and we come all the way in. And you can bring those knees in towards you. Just rock the legs from side to side. And we're going to go for some double leg stretch now, so it's a wee bit more of a challenge. Yeah, the head is lifted the whole time without any support. So if you need to lower the head down at all, that's fine. Just work to where you can. It's last exercise towards at the end of the class. So if you're a little more fatigued, it's quite fine to have a wee rest or pop the head down if you need to. Okay, so we're going to start with the arms up above the head. We're going to exhale, we'll lift the head and shoulders up. We're going to stretch the legs, lift them up. Now we're going to bring the arms up and around. As you exhale, we're going to pull that tummy in, arms coming by your sides. Then we're going to bring the knees back over the hips, but we're going to keep the head and shoulders lifted. We exhale, we stretch away. We inhale, the arms come up. That's it, keep them within your peripheral vision. Exhale, pull the tummy in, arms coming by your side. Inhale, knees come over the hips. We go again, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come back in. That's it, we've got it, team. Stretching long. Really feel that tummy sink down. Watch it doesn't pop. Let's go for another 5. Breathing out. Inhale, arms reach around. Exhale, wrap the waist in. And knees come in. And 4. Arms up. Head and shoulders are lifted. And 3. That's it. Good, reaching long. Last 2, we've got this. Breathing out. Arms up and around. Sink the belly button down. That's it. And last one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Reach the arms around. Hold it. And bring the knees in. And you can slowly lower down. Well done. Good. Just rock those legs from side to side. Good work. That's a hard exercise, especially on the end of a class. Okay. Good. Well, I hope you're feeling like you've really got those abdominal muscles working today. It's been great to have you join me. And enjoy the rest of your day.